After these lovely welcoming words from our very own Mr. Laurent, the show has officially begun. We've got a very exciting lineup for you the next couple of days. And to kick it off, we are so lucky to welcome Mr. Satya Anand, representing our main partner of YHS, Marriott International. Mr. Anand began his career in 1988, and he has moved all the way up to being the president for Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, where he manages a portfolio of over 25 brands and 75 countries and territories. Mr. Anand, I hope you are as excited to be speaking here with us as we are to listen to you. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing very well, thank you. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you all.
Excellent, I'm so glad to hear that. Mr. Anand, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Well, let me start off by saying again, it's wonderful to be talking to you today. And it is an absolute privilege to join you alongside so many other great guest speakers in an absolute fantastic industry. And it is my pleasure to represent Marriott International as the challenge provider and the leading partner for the summit in 2022. I know the team has constructed a range of practical scenarios for you to solve. And I really encourage you all to get involved and participate as much as you can. Bring your creativity, innovation, and unique perspectives to every challenge. And do think outside the box, as you would do need it in the real world. But beyond the challenge, we also have a great team from Marriott ready to present to you over the next few days. Our industry experts and experienced leaders will give you their insights into how we are tackling the present and the future, as they showcase what building a new world of hospitality looks like as society adjusts to living with COVID-19. Now, before I deep dive into hospitality world, I wanted to take a moment to talk about the devastating impacts impacting Ukraine over the last few weeks. Personally, and as a company, we are simply heartbroken over the significant humanitarian crisis affecting the people of Ukraine and the neighboring countries, including our own teams, their families, and their loved ones. And I hope that all of you and your loved ones are safe and well in these very difficult times. Providing support to our communities where we operate, whether it's directly or through the work with nonprofits, has always been part of the Marriott culture. We have a long history of working with numerous international organizations to support their on-the-ground operations, providing relief to refugees and impacted people globally in times of crisis and disaster. In response to the current humanitarian crisis in Ukraine and surrounding countries, we are supporting our longtime partners, World Central Kitchen and UNICEF, as they provide meals, healthcare, and simply basic necessities throughout the impacted region. I think additionally, many of our hotel teams and associates are quickly mobilizing, providing accommodations and collecting supplies to help those in need. And I couldn't be more proud of their efforts and achievements so far. They are living our core values to serve our world, even during the most challenging of times. As events unfold, we stand in solidarity with our teams in the impacted markets. The crisis is also impacting the lives of many hotel associates in Russia, and we're working with our teams on the ground to support them as much as we can during this extremely challenging time. This is no doubt an extremely difficult time, and we remain hopeful for a peaceful resolution of the current conflict. We believe our industry, global travel, to be real catalysts for peace and greater cultural understanding. Travel has the ability to help build bridges and deepen ties across the world. Travel has the power to make a positive difference to lives. And now, after facing adversity for 2 years with incredible resilience and agility to adapt, travel has endless opportunities to embrace change and create a better future. So, during the next 15 minutes or so, you'll hear me talk a lot about my passion for travel and how we have seen it change as a result of the pandemic. Change is challenging, but it can also be empowering. And I'm going to share with you some of my insights on themes like innovation and the new world, as well as introducing you to the concept of 2022's new traveler. Over the past 24 months, the global pandemic has impacted every single one of us, personally, at home, at school, and in our professional lives. As a result, we have been forced to speed up, accelerate, and innovate daily within our businesses and industry. And then before long, we find that we must innovate again because things have changed and moved on. Many may find this daunting, yet to me, it represents an exciting opportunity, a chance to reevaluate and draw inspiration from the challenge. A colleague recently shared a quote with me, which I thought was particularly fitting. Once the storm comes out, the landscape changes. What you had before is altered in some way. And you have a choice: build something new and better from what is left, or abandon it. Essentially, this quote sums up where we are right now as we rebuild from COVID. We are creating something new, breaking new ground, and changing the way we think and act. So after many years of experience in this industry, I truly believe there has been never a more exciting time to set out on a journey in hospitality. We've all missed travel. I certainly know I have, and immensely. So when I think about our industry, the first emotion that hits me is joy. And that joy comes from the travel and the opportunity it brings to exploring new destinations, connecting with family and friends, meeting new people, and discovering new cultures. And yet many of us also find something about ourselves when we travel, how we cope, how we perceive the world, or just how organized, in some cases not, we really are. I was an absolute expert at packing quickly and effectively before COVID. However, with the lull in travel, I had to relearn. Of course, my recent travels, I regularly forget something or the other in one of our hotels. So I still have a lot to catch up with from my previous experience as far as travel is concerned. But it's certainly great to be on the road again. But mainly travel is fun. The feeling of excitement when you take the first step onto a plane, knowing you're about to embark on an adventure that stays with you forever. You could be taking a train, you could be on the road in any form, but just getting out there is absolutely exciting. I was just reminded of this just last week when I finally got on a plane to see my parents in India for the first time in 2 years. In fact, I'm calling from their home right now. I was so excited about traveling once again that I started packing my suitcase well over a week before my trip, which is very unusual for me. And of course, you should not forget, for those who are familiar with Indian culture, there are various asks from our family, which we kind of try to accommodate at different points. And I just couldn't believe it, as this level of personal organization was simply unheard of pre-pandemic. It was routine, but now we have to adjust to all this. And I am not alone. People are itching to get back on travel again. I know some of you are probably nodding. And yes, absolutely. When can I go? I think if I would ask for a show of hands, those who already planned their next holiday for 22, I'm sure we're not alone, and there are many of you out there. Even though we're not all together, I can see you all, and I can probably see your hands going up at the same time. So travel is just absolutely wonderful. So what does this tell me? It tells me really that the future of travel is looking very bright. Confidence in travel is growing. I can see it. And many in our industry know that outlook is becoming more positive by the day. While the past 2 years have thrown many challenges our way, and it's been a difficult time for our members, hotel guests, and associates, as I look out across the world today, I can see the excitement and the joy returning as people begin to make travel plans again. Countries around the world are loosening their restrictions, and people are just ready to get back out on the roads, seas, and skies. I recently read that 7 out of 10 consumers were ready to book a trip. And looking at our own performance from last year, we have certainly seen strong demand for our hotels. In fact, our performance in the Middle East was 8% above 2019, a fantastic achievement, which shows the desire for travel, international travel is rapidly returning. Now, don't get me wrong. There will be bumps along the road, and we have seen this repeatedly over the past 2 years. But by and large, people are feeling more confident in getting back out and seeing the world. Beyond reigniting our passion and desire for travel, the challenging years of the pandemic have given our industry many opportunities that we just haven't considered before. There is no doubt that we have seen a big shift in mindset. In a relatively short period of time, the tastes and needs of our customers and guests have evolved, which leads me to raise an interesting emerging character, which is the new traveler. So Who is this new traveler? What do they want? And why are they different? Well, let's take a look at some of the trends that have emerged over the last couple of years. And I'll share with you how Marriott has met these changing demands for the new traveler. We are seeing our leisure customer gravitate towards brand that they can trust more than ever. But beyond just the trusted name and reputation, they're looking for that a little bit more. They are after more flexible booking policies, excellent customer service, more options for sustainable products, and a positive social impact, something our members, guests, and associates are incredibly passionate about. And so we have responded to these needs and wants by introducing new products and services. Customers are no longer delighted just by little extras. They expect more, and we see this continually evolving. Our team has worked fast and hard on new initiatives over the past 2 years. Just as an example, we have quickly rolled out new languages on our apps and websites so you can connect with us in over 11 languages, and there's more to come. However, at the same time, our hotel teams have had to look for fun and interesting ways to engage with their guests. A great example of this is from the Grand Britannia, a luxury collection hotel in Athens. They transformed their rooftop pool area into a gorgeous outdoor cinema. Combined with the dining experience, guests were invited to enjoy Hollywood classics and blockbusters al fresco during the summer evenings. Late last year, I attended an award ceremony in Paris celebrating innovation in our industry. And I was so proud to see this activity recognized in that forum. Another great example comes from the team at Le Méridien Minasai Beach Resort in Dubai, which built a new water park in record time, enhancing the leisure offering and focusing on COVID-safe leisure, particularly the staycation business at the start. These teams have dreamt up innovative and creative ideas to meet the changing needs of our guests and inspire all of us to travel again. They have then worked together to bring these ideas to life. Hard work, definitely, but fun, of course. Who wouldn't want to test out a brand new water park as part of their job? Well, they did try to convince me to do that, but I backed out. But I saw a number of the guests trying to come down the slides and having a great time. Today's new traveler no longer just wants to bed for tonight. Instead, they want to connect with brands in a meaningful way, and they have access to a broad range of experiences, both at hotel and the destination they're visiting. So we worked really hard on our local partnerships to create exceptional offerings because, after all, travel and tourism go hand in hand. The key to delivering and communicating these new experiences and highlighting the Marriott difference is our Marriott Bonvoy travel program. Through Marriott Bonvoy, our guests can unlock unforgettable travel. We look at Marriott Bonvoy as more than just a hotel loyalty scheme. We see it as a travel platform designed to reveal extraordinary experiences for our members, benefits that extend well beyond the traditional hotel stay. Through our program, we can offer our guests genuinely incomparable rewards. It's like watching concerts from Marriott Bonvoy Suite at the O2 in London, seeing Manchester United play from the private Marriott Lounge at Old Trafford. They're not doing quite as well, so I hope they pick it up again and reach the top of the league. And of course, exclusive access to pre-season testing with Mercedes Petronas F1 team. Extraordinary, yes. But this is what our new travelers are seeking. So we must make sure extraordinary is in our toolkit to meet their needs. And one last example before I move on. How could we have coped during the last 2 years if it hadn't been for technology? We've been investing heavily in our technology innovations and capabilities because the way the world interacts now is drastically different from 2, 5, and certainly 10 years ago. Our marketing teams are working hard to develop technology that creates highly personalized and interactive experiences for our guests and members. From delivering customers highly curated destination content that inspires their trips, to really personalizing offers and promotions for hotels, we have known that they're keen on. Technology is now a vital part of the journey. And without wanting to really play any favorites, I must admit that one of the most interesting and exciting teams in our head office is our M Live team. And this unit monitors what's going on in social media and tracks who is interacting with our hotels around the globe, and then responds by creating unforgettable surprise and delight moments real time. This powerful platform will only grow as we continue to advance our digital capabilities. So if you have a passion for social media but aren't sure how it fits into this industry, be rest assured there is a very important place for you. As you can see, our business continues to change and evolve. One of the most exciting outcomes of this continued evolution is that careers are so different now from when I first joined the industry 33 years ago. When I started out all those years ago, the industry was unlike what it is today. There were far fewer career paths. And if I look back to those few very first days in the business, there was no internet, no social media, and I never heard of words like well-being or sustainability. Simply put, travel was limited to the few who could afford it. Today, the world of travel, and in turn, the travel industry, has developed into something extraordinary. While more traditional roles still exist in areas like finance, accounting, front of the desk, and sales, these roles have been advanced also to a new level by innovation and technology. There are also so many new career paths available. As I mentioned before, social media managers are really doing fantastic work in our business. And those who are working in growing areas like sustainability and people and culture. The truth is, there are so many more career paths open to you today. And I know other exciting new opportunities will continue to emerge. Sometimes I think the jobs of the future are not even known today, and our industry is rapidly changing along with everybody else. The way we work has also changed. Today, it's more flexible, and technology makes life easier, and it's far more balanced. The dynamics have changed as well. At Marriott International, our company motto is putting people first, and well-being is at top of the agenda, along with developing talent and helping people to thrive. We're committed to our people like never before, and an extensive development program specially designed for aspiring future leaders. As a team, we all want to continue learning and loving what we do each day as we watch our ideas come to life. We are big believers in it. A great example of this is our annual innovation drive, which sees our team members pitch their company growth ideas. Winning ideas receive financial support from the business to bring these concepts to life. And finally, I couldn't possibly talk about having a career in travel without talking about the perks. We have over 8,000 hotels across the globe, and our people have the opportunity to travel and experience new cultures while working for some of the most incredible brands in the world, like W, Moxie, Edition, Aloft, the Ritz-Carlton, JW Marriott, and one of the globe's most luxurious brands, the St. Regis. And I'm sure many of you know of these brands in movies or TV shows or know them from your own cities, and some perhaps have traveled there. But I thought somewhere you'd like to stay in one of these hotels. Well, with a career at Marriott, you can have these experiences and a lot more. Well, there's still so much to say, and I could simply go on and on, but I know you're keen to get the show on the road. So instead, I'd like to sum up my speech today with just some 7 short words. I am so excited about our future. There really are so many reasons to be part of this industry, from seeing the world and understanding different cultures, to exploring new careers and meeting new people. But most of all, it's about working in an industry where you'll have fun. So as we rebuild a new world of hospitality, it really is an ideal time for you to start your journey. I started with a quote, and I'll close with another. Winston Churchill once said, "A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty." And yes, our industry has undoubtedly been damaged by the pandemic's countless waves, but I still encourage you all to be optimistic and embrace the endless opportunity that the travel industry provides. We certainly have an exciting journey ahead, waves and all. So let's get going, and all the best to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anand. It's a pleasure hearing from you. And now for our Q&A session from our audience. Mr. Anand, are you ready for some questions?
Absolutely.
Alrighty then. Our first question is, Mr. Anand, how is the Marriott International developing its extended stay line?
Well, that's a great question. I think, particularly during the pandemic, we really saw an increase in the need for extended stay. One of the trends that we saw, families are trying to get together, and an extended stay product provides that opportunity. And we have many brands that does that in different levels. One of the things that we have also seen is, the Residence Inn brand, which is one of our long stay brands. They are really having a great business pickup, and we've seen this pretty much across the globe. And we have different extended stay products at all levels, and every one of them we have seen a tremendous increase in performance, largely going back to the fact that people want to use the opportunity to connect with their families, and even if they are in businesses, they want to stay longer and use the opportunity to have space for themselves, and have also the ability to not only be in their own environment, but also to connect if necessary with others. So our extended stay product is absolutely on a roll.
That's really interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Anand. We have one more question for you, which is, what region or country do you see as an up-and-coming destination?
Well, I think there are a number of areas that are growing. Obviously, it varies by region, but I think the focus is certainly going to be where, as I pointed out earlier, the leisure traveler is certainly a big market right now, and will certainly grow in the future. I think some of the trends that I talked about is, apart from leisure, people are looking for new destinations. They want to explore, not in the traditional way of just hitting destinations one after another because they have it on the bucket list, but they also want to have an in-depth connection with local cultures, sustainability, and how they can also promote and impact that destination. So that's a trend that we're seeing. So any country that offers that is going to see a big boost in travel in that part of the world. Now, certainly, closer to home, we've seen some tremendous pickup in the Middle East as they've started to explore some of these destinations. Southern Europe is particularly attractive, but there are many destinations in Northern Europe which have been completely untapped. And if I think about Africa, a destination which I just visited a few weeks back and spent 2 weeks in South Africa, offers incredible opportunities. So I think I'm absolutely excited that we will have these opportunities all over the globe, but it will vary by market, as you can imagine.
That is really interesting. And we actually have one more question, which is, how is Marriott Bonvoy different from other loyalty programs?
Marriott Bonvoy is for us just beyond a loyalty program, as I mentioned. Typically these programs are obviously made to make sure our guests and customers stay within the program. But for us, right from the time you interact with a Marriott Bonvoy customer, it is all about that whole journey. And that journey could start in different ways. It could be an interaction with a guest at a restaurant, where we are able to give the Marriott Bonvoy points. It could be the traditional way of staying in our hotels. It could also be many members who are card holders on our credit cards, and they have the opportunity to collect those points and then later on redeem those points in one of our 8,000 hotels. But not only is it just a loyalty program, it also helps you to connect right from the beginning of your journey all the way after you've left. And we remain connected with this guest by offering them these very unique experiences. Now, I talked about Formula One, partnership that we have with the Mercedes team. We talked about some of the other programs that we have. And most recently, we launched a partnership with our Australian Open. And I am a huge tennis fan, and my colleague Raj Menon, who is the president of Asia, has promised me that next year, he'll take me to the games, because that's a once in a lifetime experience. And we have many such experiences, which simply Marriott Bonvoy is the only one that can do that. So it's way beyond loyalty. It is about a whole customer journey and experience. And that's what makes Marriott Bonvoy different from some of the other programs.
Thank you so much for that answer. That's really interesting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anand. What a great keynote to start off the summit.
It was incredibly insightful. Thank you. And I actually really loved the part that you were talking about when you said when the storm comes through, you have the option to either abandon it or you can innovate. I think that's a really great mindset to have.
Well, thank you.
I was especially excited to hear your optimism for the future of the hospitality industry. As young, aspiring individuals in this industry, just like yourself, we look forward to hearing that optimism that you have, sir.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you all need a little bit of time to process everything said. So let's go for a break, and we'll see you back here in 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Mr. Anand.
Thank you.
Thank you all the very best.